Our ecosystem is a national park named Manuel Antonio, located in the southern part of Costa Rica. We chose this area because of the diverse species in plants and animals, as well as its impressive landscape. There are various amounts of ecosystems within this park, including lagoons, mangroves, beaches, swamps, and mountain regions. However, this park can be classified as a tropical rainforest. This place is home to over 109 species of mammals, 184 of birds, and an abundance of plant organisms, which makes it an important host of life.
In our ecosystem, there is a food web. The purpose of a food web is to link all the food chains in an ecosystem together. It shows the feeding relationships and the complex interactions of various organisms. The tertiary consumers of the food web are jaguars and blackhawks. These top consumers or heterotrophs are considered omnivores because they feed on plants and animals below the trophic levels of the food web. The prey of the jaguars and hawks are the white-nosed coati and the toucan birds. These are also classified as heterotroph consumers and omnivores because they rely on the plants and animals for their energy and food supply. Green iguanas, grasshoppers, sloths, squirrel monkeys, and frogs are the source of food and energy for those omnivores. However, this is a herbivore trophic level, meaning they only feed on plants. The producers or autotrophs of the ecosystem are bully trees, cecropia, black locust, cow trees, and sura, which make up the bottom of the trophic level. The most important matter cycle was the water cycle. Because it is a rainforest, water is recycled in and out on a daily basis and provides nutrients and necessities that the plants and animals need in order to survive. First, water from the ocean around the park evaporates into the air. That air condenses into water vapor and eventually creates clouds, called condensation. Once those clouds reach the capacity of water vapor that they can hold, they release it as rain, called precipitation. That precipitation goes back to the ocean and recycles. Also, that precipitation can go to the plants of the rainforest. The plants and soil take in this water. Eventually, the water is recycled back into the air by the plants in a process called transpiration. Humans have disrupted the water cycle of the Manuel Antonio National Park through overexploitation, which is the overuse of wildlife and plant species by people for clothing, pets, medicine, and sport. Humans take the plants and trees for recreation, which holds 80% of the nutrients in the rainforest, which leaves 20% of the nutrients left. When the trees are overexploited, the soil dries up and causes erosion. Erosion stops the transpiration from plants, since they cannot survive in such dry conditions, which eventually leads to evaporation to fail due to the lack of water in the air. The density independent limiting factor for the national park is the surrounding volcanic activity. Volcanic eruptions and lava flows burn large tracts of forest, which releases gases and kills the wildlife. The volcanic activity includes high levels of CO2, which becomes poisonous in high concentrations. The plants are killed in taking in carbon dioxide for their photosynthesis, and leaves the herbivores left with low food supply. This has a chain reaction. The density dependent limiting factor is the process of predator and prey. The main predator of this rainforest is the jaguar. The jaguar feeds on the prey of the 2- and 3-toed sloth. At first, sloths were viciously attacked and populations reached an all-time low. Over time, algae grew on the sloth's coat. That gave the sloth a greenish appearance, which allowed them to blend in and escape from the jungle cat. The populations remained stable and were not as severe as they once were. An energy pyramid shows the flow of energy from one level of organisms to another. At the bottom of the pyramid are the primary producers: bully trees, cecropia, cow trees, black locust, and sura. They pass on 10% of the energy that they got from the sun when consumed by the first level consumers: iguanas, grasshoppers, squirrel monkeys, frogs, and sloths. Secondary consumers, the white-nosed coati and the toucan birds, take in the energy from those of the first level. Only 1% of that energy is transferred. The energy that is transferred to the tertiary consumers go to the jaguars and the blackhawks, which is only 1% of the original energy. Costa Rica's rainforests have faced problems with deforestation. Although deforestation does create an abundance of resources for the local residents, it takes away Costa Rica's natural beauty and as well as endangering many species. The loss of trees, which anchors the soil within the roots, causes widespread erosion. Mixed with heavy rainfall, fertile soil for plants to survive becomes nearly impossible. Deforestation causes animal populations to move into different habitats and can even push some to extinction. This is where the Manuel Antonio National Park came into play. Their goal when creating this national park was to preserve the beauty and animals of the nature that has made Costa Rica very unique for many years. Tourists are very welcomed in the park now, but there are guidelines such as not feeding the animals. This is because the animals will gain a like for human food and possibly attack people in order to get it. It also can kill some animals, which worries the conservationists of species endangerment.